All right, we're working. Oh yeah, we are up and running and kicking ass and taking names. I don't know about any of that, but we are here. So, excuse me. Ugh, a little phlegmy today apparently. So updates, various hobby updates. I built all of the Heart of Ghur terrain, and today we're gonna paint up a couple of these pieces. My goal for today is to get at least one of these pieces done. Probably this one, like fully done, so I can test my color scheme out on it. Hello. Oh, we gotta update the chat. There we go. Cool. Yeah. So my goal there is to get one of these done in today's stream, just so I can see how I feel about my color scheme and stuff like that. What other updates? Playing around with some more colors, or different colors for my Tyranids. Trying out a blue thing, seeing how I feel about it. I think it makes them look sufficiently watery, which I think is kind of cool. Hello. So yeah, not super sure how I feel about it yet, but we'll see. I think it looks pretty damn cool, but I don't know if it's what color I want yet. Still kind of on the fence on it. So I do like I like the mutedness of it. I think it's kind of like a spooky kind of color, and I like that. So yeah. So we'll see. I'm working on them. I'm gonna do a couple of them up as a demo to see how I like them. I started building the cows. They're a right proper pain in the ass to build. They look really nice though. So and they have a couple options, but they do not have anywhere near as many options as the Warhammer Creed guys. These guys have a ludicrous number of options compared. So that's a thing. These guys definitely have better options. But yeah, also my tiles continue. I sunk some nails in there. That actually works really good. I don't know how I feel about the texturing I did. I think after Mod Podge and spray and then paint, I think most of the texture was lost, or it looks kind of shitty, to be honest. So trying to come up with some options for that. But yeah, we'll figure it out. But today we're here to paint Heart of Ghur terrain. So I grabbed these two pieces because it should show off all the colors fairly well. Because what I'm thinking is that these blocks, all this stonework here, is going to be all turquoise. The ground here is going to be a dark brown. I'm actually going to use a texture paint for it. All the bones are going to be white, and the trees are actually going to be red with a brown wash over them. I just think the red trees will look really cool, especially with turquoise rocks. So I got this color yesterday, which is literally just called turquoise. Figured we try that out, and then I've got heavy red for the trees. This is a really nice kind of blood color. Here, we'll give that a shot. These poles, I was going to do them in tan. Just the standard tan, burlap tan kind of color. This one specifically. That's what I was thinking. I was also thinking about maybe doing them in green. And then doing the ropes in tan. I thought that might be neat too, but I hadn't thought of which green to use yet. So, yeah, matching green and turquoise can be kind of meh. So we'll think about that a little bit. We got a ways still. And the bone we're just gonna do probably in stone golem. Hold on. Fingernail. Driving me fucking bonkers while I'm trying to paint, bro. Probably in stone golem and then hit it with agriculture. That's the plan. Alright. Earthquake. Boop, boop, boop. Ooh, that is a turquoisey turquoise. Man, you can see that from the camera. Yeah, I'm not super gonna worry about getting it other places yet. Like if I touch other stuff, it's okay. I just want to get the base coats down. I'm expecting that I'm gonna have to come back and clean it up afterwards, you know. But that's okay. That's why we paint from inside to outside. But yeah, this terrain, I was like super on the fence with it. But man, I actually really like it. It's really nice. The really annoying thing is they released like one like kind of like expansion to it. It's like $60. And I'm like, I don't want to pay $60 for that. And it's like one big piece. It's like one big skeleton. And I'm like, man, I really don't want to pay $60 for that. You know? It's a little oof, I'm not gonna lie. Definitely a neat piece though. I'd like to get a hold of it, but man, GW just needs to chill the fuck out with this pricing, man. They're putting so many people out of the fucking hobby with it. It's crazy. But yeah, I think that'll be a cool rock color. These rocks are supposed to be kind of like Aztec-y anyway, because they're supposed to be wreckage from the weird spaceships from the lizard people. So I think this turquoise will be nice for that. Oh man, speaking of lizard people. Oh, dude. One page rolls this month. Oh my god. They have like a lizard people and space army. And it's freaking cool. It's so freaking cool. I really want to print them out, but I have like no use for them. They would make an amazing Stargrave team though. Because you could have like one of the big heavy guys on there and then a bunch of little guys, because there's just a lot of options. Like if you wanted a like scaly Stargrave team, oof, they would be amazing for it. But like, dude, really just beautiful models. And so as far as sci-fi stuff goes, I still got to finish painting my Space Otters. I just finished my Nurgle Dreadnought. He's actually out back literally right now, being top coated. I mean, I already top coated. He's out back drying. Not like I just form a queue out back and like a little gnome that lives in my backyard is like, yes, master, I'll top coat. Yeah. You know, so I top coated him literally before I came here, before I logged on. So, yeah. But man, those Those lizard people are awesome, and they would make. If you wanted to use 40k rolls with them, they would make awesome Tau proxies. If you wanted to use the one-page rolls for them, they have their own unique rolls, which is super cool. Super, super cool. Go. But as far as sci-fi projects go, I've got my space otters, and I've got to finish the bases of like 1 billion Necrons. That's what I've got left. Then after that, I'm actually going to paint up some Space Marines for a friend. I'm going to paint up some Blood Angels as a gift that he doesn't know about. This is one of my husband's friends. He's a really nice guy. And he used to play Dawn of War a lot, which is super cool. Yeah, so like every time I see him, he quotes Dawn of War at me. So I'm actually gonna paint him up a 1-page rules force of Blood Angels. Just give them to him. It's only like 4 Blood Angels or something like that, so I don't really care. And I've got a bunch of extra Space Marines because of the Imperium book, or Imperium magazine. So, speaking of which, if you can see the Necrons here, they're all done. I just have to finish their bases. This is a really cool turquoise. I like it a lot. It's really nice. I guess let's do the stone on both of them. It's gonna look really cool with the red trees. So another thing I intend to do with these, and I wish I would have thought of this before I had top coated them, or before I had like base coated them, because these are all base coated with, they're all base coated with like primer, like right from Walmart. Like this is like the primer you use on like a metal chair or something out back. I wanted it to be super, super resilient, so I didn't use the hobby primer. Hobby primer is very resilient, but it's not as resilient as this stuff. So yeah. So yeah, I wish I would have thought of this before I got this far. There's a bunch of like little stones. I wonder if I should do those in this so they look like rubble, or do them in just the brown. I'll do them in this like rubble. Yeah, so I wish I would have thought of this, but I didn't think about it until last night while I was laying in bed. I'm gonna 3D print like a metric ton of metric ton of candles, and like little cult icons, like little stick icons and stuff, and I'm just gonna fucking slather this terrain in them. I think it'll look really cool having like a bunch of candles like all over this, and like little cult icons and stuff. I think it'll make it look really spooky. I think that's really neat. So that's one of the things I'm going to do for this. I wish I would have thought of it before I top coated it, because now I'll have to, because I'm going to 3D print all the candles. Basically, I just fill a bed in my Saturn with candles and print it out. But I wish I would have thought of it beforehand, because then when I top coat this, I would have top coated the candles too with it. But oh well, it is what it is. You live and you learn. And then you would think about putting candles all over everything. A little bit too late. But I can paint them independently, it's not a big deal. And I'll just slap them on. There we go. Yeah, I like that turquoise a lot. It's really nice. That's a cool color. Are there any little stones? There are. I guess let's do the little stones in this so they tie in. This color is kind of like aquarium gravel. If I'm honest. I think that's pretty fitting for a bunch of lizard men, though. You know? I think that's very fitting for lizard men. The fact that their terrain is the color of aquarium gravel. And all this stuff here in the base. I mean, most of that's going to get hit with texture paint anyway, so you only have little bits of the aquarium gravel kind of sticking out. Alright, cool. Cool. So, I should probably paint the skulls and stuff in, but let's do, because the little trees, they have like little claws on the end of them, and we're going to do those the same color as the skulls. So let's paint the trees in first, and then we'll come back. So what I'm going to do for this is I'm actually going to end up using 2 brushes for this. I'm just going to do all the bigger pieces in this bigger brush, and then we'll switch to a finer brush when we get down in there. There's as less mistakes as we make in like the lower parts of the branches, the better. And that's just less cleanup we're going to have to do. Ooh, that is a red. I like it. So I've been playing this Cult of the Lamb game, and it's really fun, but it has these really vibrant color palettes, which is really neat. So like when you go crusading and stuff, like the backgrounds and stuff are really vibrant. It's really nice. I think that's what's giving me the motivation to do these like blood trees, to be honest. I've only been through a couple of the zones in that game. I don't know what the other ones look like, but the couple I've been in, one's like a big fungus forest thing with all these like orange mushrooms and stuff, and the other one's like a haunted woods. They both have really cool color palettes. Really, like the whoever did the graphics design work for that game, like, oh my god, dude, you did such a wonderful job. Functionally, there are a couple like problems like functionally with the game, but that's because my brain sort of doesn't handle it correctly. So let me explain that a little bit better, I guess. So in the game, you're like the sheep who's leading a like evil cult, essentially. And how the game's supposed to work is you're supposed to basically be like using the cult to your advantage, because they're like your ways to like level up and stuff. But like my brain is like, I have to make my cultists the happiest as possible, you know. And it's like, that's not how a cult leader's supposed to be. That's what I have to do. I'm like, no, they're in wonderful summer camp. They have to be happy. Welcome back. But that's just not. Yeah, so like if I go out and I like lose a battle, I don't know, it kind of sets me back a little, and it's a little frustrating. So I'm not very good at the like combat portion of the game, I guess. To the point where I was actually like debating just putting the game on easy, But then a little bit like part of me is like, what have I become? Playing a video game on easy. What am I? You know? Well, I shouldn't be that way. I should just enjoy it however I want to enjoy it, you know? It's my free time and nothing should tell me otherwise, you know? But my brain is still like, no. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I failed one time and I'm like, oh man, I don't know, you know? And, no, I should just give it another go, you know? That's what I should do. You guys are really far away. Let's fix that. How's that? Is that better? That's better. But yeah, it's a really wonderful game. Just fantastic. The team who made it did an amazing job. Like, from concept to execution to design, like, really just... Like, if it is legitimately not a Game of the Year contender, I'm going to be really disappointed. Because so far, it's, like, my Game of the Year. Now, keep in mind, I have not played many, like, independent games this year. I've just been playing a lot of Guild Wars. I'm doing lots of this right here. Lots of this painting, you know? That's what I've been doing. But from the games I've played so far, it's really, really good. Honestly, there's just so many games now. There's so many movies and so many, like, comics. It's really hard to, like, keep up with everything. It feels like nowadays you kind of have to, like, really get into one thing, and that's, like, what you have time for. You know? Being, like, a generalist kind of, like, nerd is just, like... just like not enough in the current ecosystem, you know? Like, I'm so far behind on the Marvel movies. I'm legitimately like a year behind on them. And there's just so many of them. Like, I don't know. I've got a friend who like keeps up with all of them, and she's like super into it and stuff, and that's awesome. And I like that she likes it that much, but like a little bit I feel like I'm at like a saturation point kind of deal, you know? Ugh. I feel a little like super saturated on that kind of stuff. But yeah. Painting in my blood trees. Painting in the blood trees. That part's also blood tree. But yeah, covering these in candles also like I'm going to. I'll differentiate the fact that you essentially have two matching sets of them from the box. So that'll be good too. I was debating maybe so for the stones here, what I was debating maybe doing is doing a primary color and a secondary color. So like all the details are like, I don't know, dark blue, and then all the like everything else is like turquoise, right? And then for the alternate pieces that sort of match these, what I was debating doing was having those alternate. So like, you know, the inside piece would be turquoise and the outside piece would be dark blue or whatever, just to mix the two pieces up a little. But like a player 1, player 2 kind of thing. But honestly, I think if I do that, it will actually draw more attention to the fact that they're the same, versus I think they'll just blend into the table a little better if they all look the same. And I think you'll actually notice the fact that they're the same less if they are more the same than less the same. Especially when I put candles on these, so I'm going to 3D print, because it'll really break up the eye from being able to match the shapes and stuff. You'll still be able to see they're the same thing, obviously, but it will definitely help. All right. So there we go. Has this one got a tree? Well, it's got a little guy. It's a little dude right there. We shouldn't paint him yet, though. We should paint him after we do that stuff. So let's do that stuff first. I do think with the colors that I've got going on, I'm going to do that in tan, and then I'm going to do all the ropes in wood. So give me a second. Ugh. I have my my paint rack right now is covered in Pokemon decks and Gundams, or not Gundams. I think they're called mains. Whatever the hell these things are called. They're from an anime I think called Kaiyuki Senki, I think. I haven't watched the anime because I don't watch anything really these days. But the designs are just so cool that I picked up a bunch of the models. So I got one of these yesterday. I actually built this guy yesterday. He's really cool. Really, really cool. But my paint rack is like covered in Gundams right now, so. Give me a second. Let me shake this bad boy up. That'll give our tree over there time to dry. Boop, boop, boop. You on cam still? There we go. I'll use the little brush for all the stuff where it's close to the stone. And then where it's not, we'll switch to the big one. Yeah, I'm not sure what color I'm going to do the Rotmeier Creed guys yet. Because half me just wants to do them to match Nurgle. Because they should be able to go in a Nurgle team for Warcry. I don't know that they can. But like conceptually they should be able to, considering they worship the same god. That they call him the Leech Lord. So part of me wants to make them match my Nurgle, and part of me wants to do them like completely different. I'm not sure what part will win out yet, but we'll see when we get there. But I have not painted them yet because of that. I've actually been poking around in my mini factory trying to find a big leech for them that looks really cool that I can 3D print out to use as an ally for them, or maybe like a swarm of leeches or something and count it as like a chaos hound, something like that. I haven't had any luck yet. There was a neat like set of them from Print Your Monsters, but I was not super sold on it. So I have not pulled the trigger on that yet. Maybe I'll try to find something good to throw on there. Since the last week for the My Mini Factory 50% off sale, and they call it a summer sale. Most stuff's 50% off. Not everything, but most stuff is. Some stuff's like 40 or whatever. This is the last week for them, so it's a good time to go hunting for that kind of STLs. I'm always tempted with STLs when I see them on sale to buy them just to have them in case I need them in the future, and I know that's like the wrong way, right? I should just wait until I need them and then buy them. That's how I should do it. That's the correct way to shop for STLs, but it's not what my brain wants to do, you know? Your brain's like, oh, that big truck's on sale. If you bought it now, it'd be 50%, and you might want to print it in the future. Like, it's a really cool model. You're right, I might want to print that in the future. It'd be cool to have that for my orcs, you know? And then I'm like, okay, I'll buy it. Then I never actually print it. So it's just better to be like, I'm going to print and work on this, and it's going to be a project. Because really, legitimately, to my right of me, I have tons and tons and tons of boxes of stuff with 3D printed, but have not painted. And it's not because I just like the models. Like, my brain gets through the 3D printed step, and then it's like, okay, this project's done, and it just goes in a fucking half Gundam box and doesn't get finished. Yeah. Anyway. Sorry. I probably off camera a little bit there. I apologize. Let's actually zoom you out a little bit. How's that? There we go. That's better. Okay. How's our blood trees? Pretty dry. Alright, let's pick some of those bones out, and then we can pick out the teeth on the blood trees. And then, get rock and rolling. Let's see. Rash Gray. I need Stone Golem. Any Stone Golem? Yes. You're basically a dead Stone Golem. Where's the good Stone Golem? Stone Golem's actually a gray, I want to point out. But when you hit it with Agrax Airshade, it makes a really nice like bone color. Without being like too yellow, you know. Yeah. So I really like it because of that. I apologize. We're gonna get in close here, so you might have some beard cam, so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, so this weekend is the pre-order for that other piece of terrain that goes with all of this. And then a bunch of standalone stuff that's finally getting released, like the Deathmaster and stuff. The Deathmaster is annoying because he doesn't have any like alternate pieces. So while you can have multiple of them in your army, like he would be identical, so it's better to just 3D print one. Like, buy the first one just because the model's neat, and then, like, after that, if you want more, just 3D print more. Because that way they at least won't look the same. But then how will my opponent know it's a Deathmaster if it doesn't look like it's supposed to? Because you just tell them it's Deathmaster. But they need to make tactical decisions. No, they can just fucking ask you. Like, you're playing a gentleman's game of toy soldiers. Like, you can talk to your opponent, right? You guys are playing together. That's the fucking point. You know? Sometimes I feel like people too often forget that they're playing with toy soldiers on a table. You know? Ugh. I'm just zoomed in here a lot. I apologize. Leaning right in there. I'm sure we get it all. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Alright. That's all the bones on that base painted. Let's, since we got the stuff out, let's get to some of these ones. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, so honestly, I think it's the little bones on the base that really sold me on this terrain, because it gives like the big dumb pieces of this terrain like some sense of scale. I think it looks really nice because of them, which is dumb and like super not like me, because usually I do not like when a base has these like grounding bits on it, because then it limits like the environments you can put it in. But honestly, since I did that Battletech terrain, I actually really prefer to make like, instead of having like a universal table, I like to make like specific tables. Like my family got me they got me some mats for my birthday, and one of them's like a lava mat. And I've legitimately been debating like, can I make obsidian looking stuff to go with this lava mat, specifically for this lava mat, and like not really have any other use for it besides with the lava mat. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what switch got flipped in my brain and like it like completely 180'd, but it really has this year. I think it's probably from doing that Battletech terrain, because legitimately that Battletech terrain is one of my favorite projects that I am the most happy with ever. It works phenomenal. I think it looks really good. Like I would legitimately argue that there is not cooler Battletech terrain anywhere on the internet. Like real talk. Like I think I legitimately have the coolest Battletech terrain on the fucking planet. There we go. Cool. The bones are painted. But yeah, you can see it's kind of like a bone-like color. And then when you hit it with the Agrax or shade, it's going to darken it down and look really nice. I like that one a lot. Oh, I forgot to do the little claws on the end of the trees. Part of me kind of wants to not even do the claws on the end of the trees, but I also think it's a nice little detail. And I think it'll stand out on the table and make the trees a little more interesting. Saw one person basically like covered the trees in flock, and I'm like, that's okay, but it's not what I want to do. I'll definitely do some grass tufts and stuff on the bases, but I won't do that until they're primed. I mean, until they're top coated. Sorry. Zoom in a little. There we go. There we go. That way you guys will get less beard cam. It's probably good. Okay. Go. There we go. Yeah, we're just going to give her a look over. Yeah, see there's some spots there. I didn't paint this. That. Didn't paint under here. Didn't paint under there. Didn't paint there. And we're probably going to have to touch up the red because I screwed up a little. Might have to touch up the blue and then we're probably ready to rock for washes on this piece. So. Okay, cool. Does this little tree have claws anywhere? No. Okay. So while we paint this little tree, we'll touch up the red. This probably seems like a ton of work for 2 little pieces of scatter terrain. And you'd be right, it is. Right? Like, it's a lot more work. But I want it to look cool, you know? This is cool terrain, and I want to, like, I don't know. I think, like, as I get older, I'm more and more into terrain. And the idea of it being, like, you know, people say that they say this about, like, competitive wargaming, that the table is the third player. I think it's true about narrative as well. Brush is splitting for no reason. Because it really, like, sets the scene. The table does, and I think that's really neat. It's a lot of put on the brush. Put it in a bigger area first. I think that's super important. There's a YouTuber named Winter's SEO, and I'm always just in awe of his tables. Like they're just beautiful. To be honest, if I attribute me starting to really like terrain, because I've always been like, oh, terrain's necessary, but really just starting to be like, man, this is really cool. It's probably Winter's SEO, to be honest. Because his tables are just gorgeous. He does such a good job setting them up. Like, yeah, it's just really cool. Just does a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful job. And I broke my brush. Go me. There's the release schedule for Warhammer's kind of been like all over the place recently. It's been kind of weird. Like they've just been releasing stuff kind of at like random times, it seems. Which isn't bad, at least they're releasing stuff, but like, I don't know. Like, they hype something up, and then it takes, like, another month for the damn thing to come out, and it's really weird. So the rest of the Chaos stuff is finally coming out, but it's actually not all of it. There's actually more still that is not coming out. Because there's a big, like, Demon Prince model, who's supposed to be coming out, but he has not been released yet. Cool. Cool. Oh, stretch of the back. Alright. Can you touch up a blue anywhere? Probably in a couple of spots. Just from handling it and stuff, like just probably catching a couple of the corners here and there. Hit the blue in a couple of spots. Oh, okay. I'll be down in a couple minutes. My husband is. It's okay. I don't really want to eat it on stream. I asked my husband to sort lunch out, and he apparently right on that. So my lunch is here. Which is also my breakfast because I was up late playing video games last night. Unfortunately means you're not going to get to see these washed and finished. But I'll post some photos up on Instagram and stuff. On the gram. They need to sit anyway while they dry. Okay. So that's that, and then we'll hit this guy, see if he needs any dry up spots. Go. Yeah, so I'm gonna hit the ropes on this guy, and then he would be ready for washes pretty much after that. Yeah, I mean, these are pretty fun to paint, I'm not gonna lie. And they're not bad to paint at all. There's not like crazy little details or anything in them, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, that's the base coats all on these pieces here. So we got this one, and we got this one. So next step's gonna be hit all of the red in the bones and this stuff with a Agrax Earthshade wash. And then the rocks themselves are going to get a different wash. They're probably going to get a blue wash, to be honest. Bring them a little bit more blue than the turquoise they are now. Or maybe I'll go super crazy and I'll hit them with like Plasma Bolt, which is like a green base. Maybe I'll pull some of the green out instead. Or I could hit them with like Drakenshaft Nightshade or some other kind of contrast like that. But I want to hit them with something, and I don't want it to be brown. So yeah, that's cool. Well, that's where I'm going to go call it because food is here. And I might stream some more this evening. We'll see. While I work on more of this terrain. Pretty awesome terrain. It looks really good. It's going to bring a lot of nice color to the table, which is cool. Make my spooky meat forest of bones. It's going to be pretty sweet. But I'm going to go ahead and call it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to go have lunch. So, keep on keeping on.